Okay. Hi, this is Tracy Taylor with the Wasatch Taxpayers Association again. I'm doing a little part 2 with Todd Griffin, who is the incumbent county assessor for the Republican primary election. I just want to say he got dropped a lot of information all at once because we have a time limit on our interviews. And since we didn't feel he had a proper enough time responding to all this, we're going to give him an extra 5-10 minutes at the most to kind of go over some of this information we just discussed. So go ahead, Todd.
Okay, so let me just start with the cells that you have found. You know, as I've said before, reassessments do not equal perfection. I wish they could. I wish there's no way to get every house exactly the way it's supposed to be because our hands are really tight. We may have limited cells. There's very few cells considering, so we have to use the limited cells we have to try and fit all the properties that are in this county to obtain market value, which is what the state code requires, is us to be at market value, not necessarily the cost.
Right.
But if there's no market data, then the next best approach would be the cost approach.
Okay.
Right, so that's an appraisal terminology, but
right.
To get not too deep in the weeds, every January our assessments are based off of the sales from the prior year. So when we make our analysis for January 1st, it is based off of what occurred in a marketplace the prior year. And if the market goes up, the assessed values will follow that. If they go down, they will follow it. This year in 2024, there's numerous markets countywide that have declined. That doesn't mean they have all declined.
Right.
Some actually did still go up a little bit.
Right.
There's some hot little markets that have not slowed down. We've seen trends of twin homes up in the basin going down when the houses themselves are going up. And
right.
There's a lot of terminology. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, which I will if anybody ever wants. And then on the next thing, as far as parcels that may not have, they may look like they have a zero value. I can assure if there is one, I'd be shocked. I have 4 reports I pull.
Okay, so on our website, we're going to follow up on this issue.
So what I will
and
do,
we'll put his data up on our website so that we can share whatever this is, because I didn't know.
So I will call the IT department. We have a layer on our equity map that's on our county website. On there, on the equity map, it shows exempt parcels. They're all charcoal gray. I can have them, and we actually had them put cones on properties that are under construction, because sometimes people didn't realize that the property was under construction in January, because now September-ish, they're looking for information to their appeal, not realizing that house wasn't even finished, so it's assessed per square foot is lower, so it makes it look like it's inequitable. In reality, it was. So we have that there to help people. There's no reason I can't put zero value. Like if they click a zero value, they'll highlight like little balloons.
You're going to get to the back.
That's easy. I can do that. So
yeah,
there's that.
We're going to follow up on that.
And then the other part, as far as this is interesting. I mean,
how it's getting reported at the state appeals process, right. That the proper criteria being used was not a fair.
And I don't have a statistic of I don't keep track of the final appeals of. What I do come back to at my office after an appeal process down the state, I always say, what could I have done better to be more prepared for that today? Refining the process so I'm more efficient when I'm down there, so I don't waste the judge's time or the taxpayer's time. Right. But at the same time, showing up with all the right information every time.
And getting it to the taxpayer by the deadline per state code.
Correct.
The taxpayer themselves needs that information so they can appeal.
Sure.
Yes.
And let's use an example. Just probably 2 months ago, my evidence had not changed through all stages of my appeal. I'm like, it's the same, but I didn't give it again. Right? The judges already had it from the prior, but there was a formal hearing, so they couldn't consider it. And I said, it's really okay. I can prove my points off of the petitioner's evidence. Let's just use theirs. It's fine. Don't even consider mine. So in that case, that one worked out, right? So, but I didn't bring anything to the table that was new.
Mhm.
So that could be those kind of circumstances. So
Okay.
these are pulled out, but there could be each individual circumstance. Is there potential for absolute, I dropped the ball? Absolutely. I've never claimed to be perfect at this. But I can tell you, nobody's tried harder to get to be perfect than I have.
Okay,
I'm trying.
I
And that's-
appreciate,
I don't know what else to say. I mean, perfection's not there.
no,
I'm aware
but
of all
some
the
of these
codes.
things we can
In
follow up
compliance
on.
of codes, to
Mhm.
answer that question, to be in
Yeah.
compliance of code, you know, we started off quoting one code. There is that book right there. I brought it.
Oh,
with
I
me.
know.
It's just this
It's,
thick with code, right?
that's, yeah,
So I'm trying to seriously follow every possible code there is,
right,
and the new ones that are added every year.
right.
And they're never in the favor of the assessor's office, not even once. So we're constantly trying to upgrade and keep going, and it's a task.
It is.
But I can tell you, nobody's tried harder. When it comes to the appeal process, one thing I want the taxpayers to understand is when I obtain a value, even this one that you brought up the first, if we have it assessed for 1.3, and my data shows me that that's what it should be worth, I'm going to defend that value.
Mhm.
And I do that not out of pride. I do that because I was elected to protect all taxpayers. If I give away the farm to one, I've just mistreated all the rest. That's not fair.
And that's what people
So,
get upset about.
That's right. And sometimes it's a complete difference of opinion.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that been brought up in this campaign.
Well, I
You know,
hope you
and
feel
stuff.
like
So-
you had a chance to
absolutely. This
kind
is
of
fair.
talk
I
about
don't-
this a little.
Well, it's good. I appreciate this time.
Yeah,
I really
because-
do. Because it's good.
And we've had these discussions for years, so
Yes.
people are kind of going, whoa.
No.
We've been talking about this for a very long time, so we're pretty comfortable talking about
I
this
still
stuff
haven't got
together.
a Christmas
but
card from you yet.
I don't have time for Christmas cards.
So,
Please tell the voters why they should vote for you, and then also where they can find you on your websites
Okay.
and such.
So, I've been doing this now, like I say, for 3 years. It's over 3.5 years now. I have never once came to work not in the back of my head trying to serve every taxpayer in this county. Whether they're a friend or foe, I treat them the same. And I've done that in every part of it. Not only the valuation part of it, in the greenbelt part of it, there's people in our county that it's a major shift in taxes to help agriculture. And I'm given the responsibility to make sure it takes place. That
And
there's not
also
abuse.
tell the folks
So
where they
it's not
can
abuse of the
find you.
system.
Sorry.
So
we're
my
running out of
website,
time.
my website is todd-griffin.com. And I have my Facebook account there as well with the QR code to link you there. And I'm at the office 8 to 5. If you have any assessment questions, I'm always there. I'm truly always there. I'm the right person for the job. I've done this 3 years as the assessor, 10 years in the assessor's office. I understand the tax codes. I understand all that. Been an appraiser for 26 years. I understand assessments. I'm the right person for the job just because I've done it for so long. And I'm qualified, and I truly am an advocate for every taxpayer in this county. I may not give away the farm to somebody, or I may have disagreements.
Mhm.
But my heart is in it. The proof is in the pudding. It
Great.
truly is.
It sure is.
Every
Well,
year,
thank you.
annual increases of $4 billion taxable since I've been in office.
Yeah. And so the point of that is, how many in increased value?
$4 billion per year.
4
On
million.
average. If we
So
average it out, it's probably a little
how
more.
much of that is new growth?
That's a good question.
Oh,
I can
okay.
break that out. But
Yeah, because I.
yeah, I mean
But-
it's rough.
Okay, so 4 billion in the last 4 years or so. So we were not overreacting 5 years ago.
No,
were
I do
we?
not disagree.
Because a lot of this
You were
was
not
correction. 4 billion, some is new growth, but
That's
a big portion of that was a correction of some of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Countywide.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that, and we're here to work together to get this straightened out. Absolutely, and we appreciate your time.
I appreciate everything you've done.
Okay, thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for coming.
No problem.
Bye.